Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man walah. Salamullahi alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Productive Muslim with the Friday Nasiha with ProductiveMuslim.com. Welcome to episode number 6, A Life of Actions. Last week I spoke about being knowledge-driven versus being goal-driven. And the idea there was, if you are goal-driven, that then you set in your mind a goal and you envision that goal in your mind. But there'll come a point where if you feel that you cannot achieve that goal, then you will even fail to try. But instead, if you are knowledge driven, then you are driven by the curiosity that I want to achieve this not because of a goal that's in my mind, but rather I want to achieve this because of the knowledge, the experience, the journey that I'll take in reaching for this goal or for this vision. Now, I just want to qualify that answer and to qualify the concept, because someone might say, well, it's very hard not to live with goals in your life. It's true. And I'm not saying do not live with goals. Of course you should. You should have a goal in your life, for your day, for your week, for your month, for your year. But what I don't want to happen to you is I don't want it where your image of that goal overcomes you to the extent that you do not want to move forward towards that goal because you are afraid of achieving that goal. Have you ever heard people saying, I'm afraid to fail? Have you ever said to yourself, I don't want to do this, or you start blaming others? Oh, this thing happened, that thing happened, it wasn't meant to be, and all sorts of things. You're afraid to fail because you're afraid that you'll not be able to fulfill the goal which you envision. But instead, I want you to be knowledge driven, where you say, you know what, this is worth trying. Let me go and see how far I can go. Let me explore. Let me find out. Now, today I'll give you a tool to be constantly in the drive of being knowledge driven, and the tool is to live a life of actions. You need to be living a life of actions, constant action. And subhanallah, that brings beauty to your life. That kills boredom in your life. That kills shaitan in your life, because you want to have time to play around with your mind because you are always in action. And I want to give you practical tips. The first thing, when you have this action, have good intentions. Every action must come with this good intention. Otherwise, you will be losing on really important rewards. So have an action. Secondly, plan your days. I already alluded to you before to use a taskinator, use a diary, use a calendar, use anything you have to help you plan your days. For those of you who don't know, the taskinator is on the Productive Muslim website, which is a daily one-page planner to help you plan your day. So do plan your day in some way or another, so that you know that from the moment you wake up until you go to sleep, your day is full of actions. Number 3, stick to your plan. Stick to your plan like you have to. You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning and you really don't want to go to school, or you really don't want to go to work, but you have to? And then later on when you actually go, you say, you know what, that wasn't a bad idea that I went. It actually was a good idea that I went. I want you to stick to your plan in that sense, where your actions are something almost like promises to yourself, and you try your best to fulfill them. You never cancel them, but you can rearrange them. You don't say, oh, I cannot do this. You say, okay, I cannot do this now if you have to cancel, but I'll do them later. Also, never be idle. Never sit and say, I'm doing nothing. If you are going to somewhere where you'll be doing a lot of waiting, let's say you'll be going to a hospital where you'll be sitting down doing nothing, take a book with you. Take a pen and paper with you. Take an iPod and listen to an audio book with you. Whatever it is, plan your day so you're never caught idle. If you think, okay, I'm going to go on a flight for 3 hours, I'm going to be going here, there, in this 1 hour after lunch, I'll be doing nothing. Think what you can fulfill that hour with, even if it's as simple as saying Subhanallah 1,000 times. You can say, that's my action for that hour. So never be idle. And if you're ever caught idle, try to think of something. And the best thing to be caught, if you're ever idle and you don't know what to do, remember Allah. Just remember Allah. Finally, the last point, remember Jannah. Remember that Jannah is precious. It won't come to those who simply sit down and do nothing. It comes to those who strive and work hard and really strive for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you live a life of actions that are backed with good intentions, then you, my dear brothers and sisters, are on the right track towards Jannah. Do your best to always live this life of action and never ever be caught idle. This is Productive Muslim with the Friday Nasiha from ProductiveMuslim.com. Inshallah, I'll see you next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.